two people, one piece of land, and a conflict that's lasted over 100 years. How did the fight between Israel and Palestine become one of the most complicated and emotional conflicts in the world? Let's break it down, simply. But fair warning, this story doesn't have a simple ending. To understand this conflict, we have to go back in time, over a century ago. Before Israel or Palestine existed as countries, this land was part of the Ottoman Empire. For hundreds of years, Muslims, Christians, and Jews all lived there. Then came World War I. The Ottoman Empire collapsed, and Britain took control of the land. Now here's where things start to get complicated. Britain made promises to two different groups. They supported the idea of a Jewish homeland, while also promising independence to Arab populations already living there. Two promises, one land. You can probably see where this is going. In the early 1900s, more Jewish immigrants began moving to the region, especially as they faced persecution in Europe. After World War II and the horrors of the Holocaust, support for a Jewish state grew rapidly. At the same time, Arab Palestinians were already living on that land and wanted their own independent nation. So now you have two groups, both believing the land should be theirs. Tensions rise, violence breaks out, and the situation spirals. Then comes a major turning point. In 1947, the United Nations proposed a solution: split the land into two separate states, one Jewish, one Arab. Jerusalem would be shared. Jewish leaders accepted the plan. Arab leaders rejected it. Why? Because Palestinians felt it was unfair. They were a majority in the land, but were being asked to give up a large portion of it. And that disagreement led to war. In 1948, Israel declared independence. Immediately, neighboring Arab countries attacked. Israel survived and even expanded its territory beyond what the UN plan originally proposed. But for Palestinians, this moment became known as the Nakba, meaning catastrophe. Around 700,000 Palestinians were displaced from their homes. Many became refugees, and their descendants are still refugees today. Now pause for a second. This is one of the key reasons the conflict is so emotional, because both sides see this moment very differently. For Israelis, it's the birth of their nation. For Palestinians, it's the loss of their homeland. Same event, completely different meanings. Fast forward to 1967, another major war breaks out, the Six-Day War. In just 6 days, Israel takes control of the West Bank, Gaza Strip, and East Jerusalem. These areas are still at the center of the conflict today. Why? Because Palestinians want these territories to form their future state. But Israel still controls much of this land. And that leads to one of the biggest ongoing issues, occupation and borders. Let's talk about today. The main disputed areas are the West Bank and Gaza. The West Bank has a mix of Palestinian communities and Israeli settlements, communities built by Israelis in territory Palestinians claim. Gaza is controlled by a group called Hamas, which Israel considers a terrorist organization. Because of ongoing violence and security concerns, Israel has strict controls around Gaza. This creates a cycle. Attacks lead to retaliation. Retaliation leads to more conflict, and it keeps repeating. Then there's Jerusalem. This city is incredibly important to Jews, Muslims, and Christians. Both Israelis and Palestinians claim it as their capital, and that makes it one of the most sensitive and contested places on earth. So why is it so hard to solve? Because at its core, this isn't just about land. It's about identity, history, religion, security, and justice, depending on who you ask. Every proposed solution runs into the same problem. What one side sees as fair, the other side sees as unacceptable. There have been peace talks, there have been agreements, but none have fully resolved the conflict. And over time, trust between both sides has only gotten weaker. So where does that leave things today? A conflict with deep roots, strong emotions, and no easy answers. But understanding the history is the first step to understanding why it continues. Because in the end, this isn't just a story about land. It's a story about two peoples, both with real histories, real pain, and real hopes for the future. And until those can somehow be reconciled, the question remains, will there ever be peace? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe Viral Historian for more historical content on the regular.